Shout out to Jennifer. I've started planning my garden for next year and read some things about planting by moon cycles.
There's no way we could wait for moon dates to put plants in the ground. We had to just plant.
So from the new moon to the half full moon is a time when you want to be planting leafy greens. So
send me another plant. Send me another plant.
My favorite is the buck moon based on your sound effect.
The Helpful Gardeners, the podcast that digs into the buzziest plant trends and news you need to know, regardless of your growing zone. Colin is a skilled horticulturist with decades of growing experience across Canada. Brandi is the greenest of green thumbs with a love of asking questions. Welcome to our Garden Nook.
Spooky week is upon us.
You love spooky season.
Spooky season. Nighttime in the moon, and there's nothing spookier than a full moon, right?
Oh, yeah. There's something inherently eerie, the stories of werewolves and everything else, and the long shadows.
Yeah, like the most iconic symbol of Halloween, right?
Yeah.
I looked up all of the different, you know how like there's different moons?
Yep.
Obviously, the full moon has passed for October already, so we're not going to get a full moon for Halloween.
That's right. It was a beautiful moon, though.
The next full moon is beginning of November, like November 6th, and it's the beaver moon.
Okay.
It comes from Indigenous peoples setting beaver traps during this month.
Oh, interesting.
I know, right? Others say that it comes from like the heavy activity of beavers building their winter dams.
TikTok beaver.
I was like,
already
they're
in
not
November.
Canadian beavers, are they?
Like maybe if you're a beaver down in like Florida, start doing your winter stuff in November. But come on.
You know, there's 12 moons. Officially.
Oh.
I know there's like another one.
Yeah, okay,
and we'll get to that at the end.
Yeah.
So let's just like start in January. Because if you don't know this, right? So the January full moon is the wolf moon.
Oh. Sorry, I'm going to bring the effects to the names.
Thank you. The February one is the snow moon. What's your sound effect for that? Oh, wow. The March worm moon.
It's the same as snow, but I'm moving my finger like a worm.
They say that the Indigenous called this full moon after the worm trails that would appear in the newly thawed ground.
Okay.
Interesting. April is the pink moon. May is the flower moon.
Give me more sound effects.
June, strawberry moon.
Oh, no.
Sorry. July, buck moon.
That's my deer call.
August is the sturgeon moon. Oh, good job. I like that. The September is the corn moon.
I got nothing.
October, hunter moon. And we just went through that. We have the beaver moon for November. And then in December, it is the cold moon.
Okay. That's apt. Cold moon.
So
it's not very original, but
well, obviously these are all based on the cycles of the moon.
Yeah.
And so the moon phases happens like, you know, that's why we have 12. So we have like one for every month. However, sometimes the cycles sync up a little bit differently and we can get a rare 13th moon. And that one's called the blue moon.
That's right.
What's in a blue moon?
Okay, but
like...
So then the blue moon must always be in December?
Yeah. So it's...
Because you wouldn't know that you were getting the 13th until the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it happens like every
unfair.
2.5 years.
Seems a little unfair to the other 11 months.
I just love how I never knew what once in a blue moon happened because I just thought, oh, blue moon because the moon's never blue.
You know what's funny is that I actually thought the blue moon was the 13th full moon.
Yeah.
But I didn't, because you know how like sometimes a month will have two full moons.
Yeah.
Right? Like it'll be at the very beginning, at the very end.
Yeah.
I actually thought that there was 13 full moons every year.
Oh.
Yeah, legit.
I mean, who knows? Maybe my facts are off too.
Yeah, no, I just made that assumption.
Yeah. Did we have leap year this year?
No, leap year can only happen on even number years because it's every 4 years.
Oh, so that's...
Syncs up with like the Olympics or something.
Ooh, maybe next year.
I actually, back in the day, when I lived in England when I was a kid, I had a friend who was born on February 29th.
Wow.
Yeah, so I believe he was the same age as me. Can you Google it? Was 1974 a leap year?
No.
No? 1976 it would have been then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the last leap year was last year. So
Yep.
we don't get another one until 2028.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Anyway.
Yeah. Moving right along.
Talking about the moon, I want to shout out one of our newest listeners.
Okay.
Who sent us a note over on Instagram. We are at the Helpful Gardeners Pod. A shout out to Jennifer, who said, "Hi, I went searching for a Canadian gardening podcast and hated every single one until I found yours."
Harsh but fair.
I wear that as a badge. You two have such a great energy, and I've been binging your podcast from the beginning. I've learned so much. This was my first year gardening, and I've got the bug. I've started planning my garden for next year and read some things about planting by moon cycles. I was wondering if you could give some info on this topic. Is it total bunk or actually useful? Thanks. You guys rock.
Just started gardening, found us, has the bug, and is already planning next year's garden.
I love that. She did mention where she's living, actually.
Because Jenny and I have already been talking about next year's garden and the different flowers we want to do and whatnot. And Jenny really wants hollyhocks next year.
Oh.
Yeah, she really wants some hollyhocks. A couple of times we saw the big, tall, jet black ones.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Oh, you didn't know?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "All right, we'll do black hollyhocks next year. I'm in." Yeah,
the one that I'm looking forward to doing is Virginia creeper, I think. Is that the one that creates a beautiful bright red in the fall?
Yeah, don't put it on your house though.
Oh, why is that?
Because if ever you try to remove it, it sticks and it can damage the side and the siding.
Whoa, so a trellis is okay.
Yeah, do it on a trellis, and then the other part is as well. So I've had to remove Virginia creeper before.
Yeah,
it is a beacon for things like spider mites.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it looks amazing, and old ivies and Virginia creepers on old buildings. I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to remove it.
Yeah,
it's just part of it. Putting it on a new house, we've taken so much of it down before. One person had to redo all of their siding.
Oh my gosh!
Because it had bleached out where the sun had got through, but it hadn't in other areas. Yeah. The suckers had left imprints, and it was bad news.
Okay, well, don't do that, Jennifer. But you might want to do some moon phase gardening. To be honest with you, I didn't really know much about this. And yet it's been around since like the Romans, the Celtics, like this is a fundamental thing for the Farmer's Almanac, which is like appreciated across North America, right? It's based on that.
I don't want to naysay it because there's a lot that we don't know. And I want more magic in the world, not less magic. So I'd never want to be one of those people that is like, if the science doesn't prove it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like I still want to believe in the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, science at one point thought a blue jay pecking out a wound was the right way to go about. But now I feel like there's advancements all the time, right?
Exactly. And look at it this way, right? They say talking to your plants is bunk. Okay. It doesn't do. What I've read before is they believe that talking to plants, the reason it works is not when I walk into my office and I say good morning to my plants. It's people that get up. I know my mic is going to sound terrible here, but they're talking to that plant like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And the principle behind it is when you talk, you expel carbon dioxide. So the plant breathes in more carbon dioxide. Okay. So that is like the science behind it. Could also be the vibration. Like I genuinely think, you've heard that before, where somebody makes something, a cake or a meal or whatever, and they go, it was made with love. And that person was thinking of you, and they made your favorite meal, and they got like your favorite sides and your favorite drink. And that meal tastes amazing. They could make that meal better, and they're like, I made it with hate. And you're like, it doesn't taste very good. So I do believe there's
like placebo.
Yeah, exactly. There's something inside us where we go, oh, this is better.
Yeah.
And maybe it is. Maybe we pass that energy on because, again, I'm not going to trash it, like just poo-poo it, but there is no science behind the moon planting.
It's interesting. Like, I know there have been some studies, right?
Yeah.
And I have watched extensively videos and reviews and all sorts of things. And it's really, truly mixed, And I think you're right. There is a factor of maybe a placebo.
Yep.
But there's also a lot of honesty on the internet where they're like, I really didn't see a difference. So before we get too far, let's just talk about what it is, because I'm sure,
Good
I'm sure
catch.
there's some folks out there being like, wow, they poo-pooed that. I don't even know what this is.
We're just straight into the
No, you're like,
debate.
I want you to know what my stand is. I don't.
Oh, thank God you're
I
here,
really
Brandi.
appreciate that about you. But if you're like me and didn't know what this was, because I'm just trying to survive in the garden and know that I could be intentional about it. Essentially, it goes by the quarters of the moon phases,
Yeah.
right? So the transitional periods. So from the new moon to the half full moon is a time when you want to be planting leafy greens. Then you go to the half full moon to the full moon. And then that's when you want to be planting things that has seeds, tomatoes, zucchini, that kind of thing above ground. From the full moon to the half full, so now we're decreasing in light, then you want to do your underground root vegetables, your perennials, raspberry bushes, that kind of thing. And then the last phase, your half full moon to the new moon, where there's virtually no light going on other than like the stars and stuff, no planting. So this is going to be a time for weeding and pruning and maintenance gardening is what they say.
When the moon is getting brighter
Yeah.
and it's pulling more light, it's increasing growth.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's why you're planting the things that are the above ground growth.
Yes.
And when the light is decreasing and the moon is pulling down,
Yeah.
that's when you put in your root vegetables because it's better for root abundance. So that was the thought behind it back in the day when they still believed the sun got pulled across the sky by a guy in a chariot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Which is interesting because like it takes how long to germinate for some things? Like a week?
yeah.
So you're planting things and then hopefully in that first or that second transitionary period, by the time those little dicotyledons come up, then you should be getting the full moonlight, right?
And what I always understood, and this is totally fair. This has, because I don't know. I mean, I have to believe back in the day, like the Romans 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, whatever, they weren't doing a lot of propagating in the house under grow lights. I need 500 more candles.
Hey, you don't know what they're doing in those
Exactly.
those pyramids.
Yeah, so that's what I said. I don't believe, but I don't know. But what I have understood is people who do the moon planting, it's not necessarily when they plant their seeds, it's when they plant their seedlings. It's when they plant the plant. So you bring home some beets from Golden Acre, you're planting it during that time of the moon. You're doing your tomatoes during the waning. I'm not an astrophysicist. I don't remember all of the things, but that's when you're looking at doing it because you're putting it in so that the leaves pull up to the light or that the roots go deep as the light diminishes, kind of thing. As for starting seeds, no idea. No idea. I don't know how that part works. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
I was also kind of looking into, I guess, like there are some theories, how the moon affects tides.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So they were wondering if it had to do with like the water, that is in the ground, that's in the seed, that's in all of the above, like the roots and accelerating sort of the uptake of nutrients from the soil. And if that matters, there's really no science behind that because it's too small of a body of water, right?
Exactly.
And like you can't really say that all of the water that's sitting in the soil is going to be pulled at a certain time. I don't know.
All you got to do is go look at any of the lakes.
Well, yeah,
unless
and
it's
that's
a Great
the thing.
Lake. The Great Lakes are big enough to be affected by, like the Great Lakes have waves.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Grassy Lake does not.
No, exactly. And we're talking about even smaller.
Exactly.
Right? And then also the moon affects gravitational pull is also a theory out there. The amount of light available, I think, is probably the most predictable theory because it's true. Like that's what plants need to grow. And the moonlight is just a reflection of the sun.
And you talk to any cannabis grower who grows for themselves. The number one thing they'll tell you is when you've got your tent built and you've got it all set up, zip it up, close it up, but leave the light on. Turn off all the lights in the room and look at your tent and spot your light leaks. Any light leak, tape it up. Because they say that tiny filtered light coming through the mesh of the tent that might be a little thin or maybe it was stretched and it's coming through will have an effect on the cannabis plants.
What?
Yeah, they are that strict about it. I'm talking like the hardcore growers. Wow. Like this guy's name was Dave. He worked here. That's how I met him.
Yeah.
Our good friend Ramo.
Yeah.
People like that, they will be like zero light leaks. I know some people who grow cannabis who have their lights set on timers, so the lights don't just come on.
Yeah.
It comes up like the sun coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So if they, who have grown numerous crops, they've tested it, they've done everything, believe that much light can have an effect on their cannabis, well, then it stands to reason that the moonlight would have an effect on your plants.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
we were just saying, how bright it can be.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. If you go to Farmer's Almanac, I'm going to put this in the show notes. So go to goldenacre.ca/podcast and then click on the podcast blog post and you'll see you can put in your postal code or your zip code, depending on where you are, and it will give you a personalized planting calendar for your region.
That I look at the almanac all the time. Yeah. I never knew that hack.
It is awesome. Okay. So for example, they have a spring planting and a fall planting. So for spring planting, they will actually give you based on frost dates and based on moon dates. So let's see how these correlate. Pick a veggie or a herb. Give me whatever.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Everybody knows them. They're a root vegetable.
Okay, pick another one. It says NA.
Tomatoes.
Okay. Classic. Okay. So the frost date for planting in Calgary, where we are, frost date is April 22nd to May 6th.
And I'm sure they updated that based on the new update of the hardiness zones.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. That sounded full of confidence.
Great theory. Love it. Now, the moon cycle says April 27th to May 6th. It says this is when you start seeds indoors.
Okay.
So when you are planting your seedlings, July 1st to 8, and the moon cycle, July 1st to 8. Did you know that like UFO sound was like, ooh, this is how I feel. It's like eerily very close. Hey.
Yeah. And the almanac, when I was a kid, we went on vacation. I think I've talked about this on a farm in England.
Mm.
You can tell how wet and windy a season is going to be by how high in the tree the crows build their nests.
What?
So how the crows know what the season is going to be, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if a crow builds its nest low in the tree, well, then they're more accessible to other predators climbing and getting their eggs, but they're more sheltered from the wind and the rain.
Uh-huh.
If they build it at the top of the tree, it means it's going to be a very still and dry year.
Yeah.
So they won't go low, never. They do need the height.
Yeah.
But depending, you look at a tree and depending on whether it's like low in the middle or right at the top, will tell you how the weather will be because the crows build their nests in the spring.
Oh, that's cool.
And it'll tell you how the season is going to be.
Wow.
And the farmer used to say, I don't care about the weather report. All I need is my crows.
Yeah.
That is data.
Yeah.
It's just not scientific data.
Yeah.
It's people have observed this for hundreds and hundreds of years and being like, oh, I've seen a pattern here.
Yes.
And it's applicable enough. Like, I'm not going to say it was modern day because I was a kid in England. I've already doxed myself for how old I am. But this would have been early 80s when this farmer told me that. And it's always stayed with me.
So you know how we always tell people to plant around the May long weekend?
Yep.
Okay. So if we say the start seeds outdoors, and like arugula, for example, the frost date May 20th to 27th, and then the moon date May 26th to 27th. So it's like literally, again, right in that zone. Like I would be very curious to try.
I've never done it. Part and parcel of what I did for a living. There's no way we could wait for moon dates to put plants in the ground. We had to just plant.
Yeah.
And now with how busy I am in the spring, when I have planting day and I know I've got enough time to do it, I'm planting. I don't even look at what the moon is. Am I kind of free of frost? Are my seedlings ready? Do I have what I need? I'm planting. Mm-hmm. I've always had success. Well, not always. I have failed at a few things, obviously, but I'm a pretty good gardener. But what about the magic? Mm-hmm. The world is a magical place. You start considering everything and I don't need science to explain everything to me. Yeah, I want science. I want a deeper understanding. But sometimes science and belief can go hand in hand. So you know how iris have got, they call it, it's a rhizome, but they'll call it the big toe. Some people will call it the culm. And it's like that big, heavy root that you see, and then the iris plant is coming out of it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you always plant that facing south. Okay, now the idea there is that actually pulls in sunlight and heat, stores the energy, and it makes the iris grow bigger. So you plant it south so it gets full sun all the time. The iris isn't creating its own shade.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've planted a lot of iris. Some I've planted south, some I haven't planted south. I would say the best success came with the ones that I did plant south. Okay. But there is a science there that it inherently gets more sunlight. Now, it's still going to get a ton of sunlight, reflected sunlight, and it's still going to get the same temperature, essentially maybe a degree cooler because the shade is so small. But there is science behind that. The moon planting, I don't know, but I'd say if you were interested and you wanted to believe it, hell yeah, go for it.
Totally. Yeah. I feel like as a beginner gardener, would you say that it's a lot of worry for something that could overwhelm you?
Not really.
No.
And the reason why I say that is because I don't believe that if you get it wrong, it's going to make a blind bit of difference.
Okay.
Like, it's not like planting at a certain depth.
Yeah.
Okay. Where it's like, you know, some people say you should plant deeper. Yeah. Okay. But you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay. There's actual proof there that your plant will suffer. This, I don't really think it'll have an effect. Put it this way. If you get it right, the effect will be a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
If you get it wrong, you will still have success, maybe just not as much success.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so you're hedging your bet to getting, you know, more tomatoes, a better flavor radish.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say go for it, but if you miss it or your timing is a little bit off, I would not spend 1 minute worrying about it. I would just organize again for next year.
Love that. Also, can I just say, like, one of the benefits I thought about moon gardening was that it spaces things out quite a bit. So you know how, like, when we're going out and we're planting and we're doing everything all at once? Well, what if there's an error in that? Because you're trying to get everything done in a day or 2 days, a weekend. And then you're like, okay, I misplanted this. It's at a different...
Solid.
Right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, for the first, I guess, week, I'm going to do my leafy greens. My second week, I'm going to do my tomatoes. My third week, my carrots, that kind of thing. And then you space things out and then you have no garden burnout, maybe.
No,
Not that the Aztecs probably thought that far ahead. But
you know what, though? No, that's actually, I love that, Brandi. I really do. I love, because like I just said, I'm always so busy. I just bang everything in. Now I have the experience behind me. I don't tend to make the rookie mistakes. I hope I don't. Jenny looks and she thinks and she's critical and she goes this color to this color. And I go, send me another plant, send me another plant. Send me. And I'm like factory work, just banging them in. And I know the space they need. I've got it all down. But taking your time and looking at that, it is going to make you a more conscientious gardener. And it brings another element in. And it does slow us down in a world that does everything it can to make us busy. And I
there you go.
That just nailed it for me. Moon plant. You know what? You tipped the tide. I'm now like moon planting.
Moon planting all aboard. Hey, question before we go. Okay. What's your favorite moon?
What's my favorite moon?
Yeah.
By name or like?
By name.
By name, it's got to be the wolf moon.
Oh, okay. I'm gotta go with the pink moon or the flower moon.
But I got to give a shout out here.
Yeah.
Probably my most sentimental moon is the harvest moon.
Oh, okay. You were married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jenny wanted to be married, and our wedding song was Harvest Moon by Neil Young. So,
no, you know what? I actually changed it. My favorite is the buck moon based on your sound effect.
This podcast is brought to you by Golden Acre Home and Garden. Find seasonal inspiration for your home and garden in Calgary, Alberta year-round. Visit goldenacre.ca. The comments and opinions expressed by the helpful gardeners on this show are our own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Golden Acre Home and Garden. For more information on everything we covered today and to leave us a voice note, visit goldenacre.ca/podcast. The Helpful Gardeners are on Instagram at The Helpful Gardeners Pod. Keep on growing, gardeners!